No real violence in the film, but there is some aggressive behaviour. People are pushed and shoved and grabbed and lunged at, as well as there's a bit of yelling and arguing in the film. This mostly happens out of frustration or anger, so the scenes are very short-lived. They kind of happen and the film moves on. There is a lot of medical procedures in the film. The film centres heavily on the themes of death and dying, specifically from cancer. So you see medical imaging, you see scans of the breast area as well as the brain and head area. You also see needles being injected into the skin. You actually see the needles penetrating the flesh. When this happens, you see little drops of blood and you see kind of taping and as well as the kind of the dressing of the area. You also see vials of the liquid, which is the chemotherapy liquid, entering into the body and dripping. You see the after effects of the radiation or chemotherapy. So you see the body looking very run down and poorly, and you see a woman vomiting and suffering from nausea and headaches and weakness and all kinds of dizziness and sort of byproducts of the cancer treatment. You also see a woman injecting herself later on. She is injecting fertility drugs, so you see the needle entering her skin in the stomach area. The film also focuses very heavily on the idea of birth and pregnancy. So you follow one couple's journey through conception. In one scene, you see a man going and having to produce a semen sample. So you do see him in the act of masturbation. It's kind of framed so that you don't see exactly what he's doing, but you certainly get the idea. He's watching a pornographic film. You see two women in the film. They're wearing lingerie, so you don't see any nudity there. But you do see the semen sample that he produces afterwards. There's actually quite a few sexual references throughout the film. You do see couples having sex, starting with the two girls when they're quite younger, around sort of the older teenager years when they both lose their virginity. And you see couples having sex in different places. So there's public places as well as in private, so in bedrooms. One woman has an extramarital affair, so you see her meeting another man several times in the film as well. In regards to the pregnancy, there is a childbirth scene. So you see the woman in labour, in very active labour. So you see yelling and screaming, and she's obviously in a lot of pain as she's giving birth. And then you see the baby delivered and covered in goo and all that kind of, lovely birth stuff. There's quite a bit of swearing in the film as well. So the F word is used once, but the S word and the A word and quite a few different B words are used throughout the film. There's a few derogatory terms for women, but they're mostly used in a jokey sense, and obscene finger gestures are used. Throughout the film, with the sexual references, there's a lot of jokey references to sex and also sex acts, everything from homosexuality to masturbation and erections and that kind of thing. It's all meant to be humorous and lighthearted. So Miss You Already stars Toni Collette and Barrymore, and you can read my full breakdown of the film at cinemum.net.